Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Model Car Guy Rich here. I'm building the 1978 Firestone Edition Ford 4x4 truck, and somehow I lost all the earlier footage. I have no idea what happened, so I'm going to play catch up. This is the bottom of the bed. Everything has gone together fairly well. The most difficult part was putting the bed together, and that was only because each piece obviously is individual, but in order to fit one piece in, you had to have the other piece on, and then in order to get that piece on, you had the other piece on. So just wrapped it with some masking tape, placed the pieces in, glued them all in, and let them set overnight, and they were fine. Took the tape off, and then put it in primer and painted it up, and it came out fine. No real issue there. It was just a little fiddly in the beginning. So the frame is coming along. I've had no issues with that whatsoever. I've heard a few people say that this was a difficult kit to put together. So far, nothing major. My only real complaint would be there was a lot of flashing, guys. So this is obviously an old kit that they've reissued over and over. That was the only main issue. And the cab's coming along. Got a few more parts to go. Like I said, I'm sorry I lost the footage. I don't know what happened. Here is the interior, and here is an original 1978 edition of this kit interior. Don't ask about the colors. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, this is all I have left from this kit. I thought I had a hood and some axles and things, but I couldn't find them in my parts bin. So I went with black on the interior on this one. Tried to avoid the orange and white catastrophe. I don't know what was up with that. And here's the dashboard for the new one. So it's coming along real easy. And like I said, I'll have it together here in a second, and you'll see the final version of it. So thank you all for joining me, and stay tuned for the finale. So here's a little something, guys, I thought was kind of interesting. When you're building this vehicle as the four-wheel drive version, this is your steps to put it together. Okay, pretty basic. Now the position of this, they're a little vague on where that actually connects. Right now in the build on mine, this tube is on an extreme angle. Well, I can't really describe it here, but this one here, they show it like this, but the angle is actually way up. So I'm working on a solution to that. But the interesting part, and the reason I turned the camera on, was to show you guys that if you build it as the two-wheel version, which is step 2, they want you to install part 30, the steering gearbox, on this little tab right here. But if you build it as the four-wheel drive version, you don't install it at all. It would go right here. They don't tell you to put it in on that part. I don't know why, and I'm not far enough along in the build to see if it interferes with something, but so far I installed it. It's back here. I literally just put it on. It's right there. It's in kind of a funny angle. I think I need to lift this side up just a little bit to allow it to go in through the cab, but we'll see once I get the body set on if it's going to make a fitment issue. And now the engine on the four-wheel drive version, it has a little tab on the bottom of the transmission which lines up, and in here is that other part, the transfer case, I guess we'll call it. But look at how high it sits compared to the hole on the case. Yeah, you can't see it. There it is. That hole down there is where that little tube is supposed to go, and I think it's underneath the paper here, right here. Here's that tube, and if I take, it's a straight tube. If I put it in here, it rides way above this part, and if I put it in the hole first, then obviously it goes way below. So we're going to have to figure out a way to make it line up on kind of a angle like that, but attached to both ends. It's the only thing I can come up with. But once the body's on it and it's on its wheels, you'll never see it again anyway. But it'd be nice if it fit properly. Other than that, everything else has been really nice. It's gone real well, nice and easy. Clip it off the tree, paint it if you want, slap it on there, and it works out fine. So that's the only real glitch I've run into. The omission of the steering gear box if you build it as four-wheel drive, and that drive shaft tube doesn't really line up properly. So that'll take a little modification so far. Once I get a little further along in this build, then I'll let you know some more. So alrighty, I thank you again for being here, and I'll be right back. Okay everyone, this is the final result. This is the 1978 Ford F-250 4x4, the Firestone edition, like I just showed you a few minutes ago in the video. And it was a challenge. I mean, it wasn't difficult, it was just very finicky. A lot of the parts didn't fit quite the way they were intended. My biggest complaint are the little hinges, which I have right here, that according to the instructions go on one way into the hood, but what happens is that they stick out left and right. They stick out too far, so the hood, when it's hooked with the hinges, it sits kind of like that. It's offset. You can only put in one of them in the little slots for it to line up properly. So I think they have to go in the opposite way of what the instructions say, and that way they would fit in there real good. But I decided I'm just not going to put them on because they frustrated me. Other than that, everything went together fairly well. One of my favorite aspects of this build was the way the front end turned out with the roll bar and that. Looks really sharp. I have the headlights whited out with white marker, and then the signal lights with some orange. Thought that looked pretty sharp. Obviously I didn't do it in the Firestone motif because I just wanted a F-250 pickup truck. One of the biggest complaints I have is that there's no positive points for the bed to lay on. Okay, you got to kind of guess, and according to the instructions, the bed goes on before the body and the cab, and it just didn't make sense to me, so I put the cab on first, which helped to align the bed up real nice. It come out nice. I like it. I think if I was going to do it again, I'd do it in the Firestone motif, just to have one. You know, it's kind of cool. Yep, there it is. I can't pick up the truck to show you the bottom because things are still drying. I literally just put the mirrors on, and once again the bed isn't secured down yet because I'm waiting for other things to dry, like the bumpers and that, so that I can be a little more aggressive in putting the bed down so that it lines up with the body lines and all that. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed that one. It was a fun build. It looked good on the shelf here. I think I'll put it up next to the 68 Mercury M100 that I did a little while back. I'll put it up next to that one. I do like it. So that'll look good. Hope you all have a fantastic day. This is Model Car Guy Rich. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Thanks for watching. Keep on modeling.